Calling all task force personnel. Due to increased violence involving the gang war and the suspect known as Spider-Man, you are now free to employ extraordinary measures. Enter Phase 2 of the Suppression Initiative immediately.
Spider-Man, Whitney here. I just did an interview with the task force, and they're blaming the rising crime rate on you. Watch out.
So what else is new?
All units, remain on high alert. We've got multiple gang wars breaking out over the Russians' old territories. Everybody wants a piece. It's like the Old West out there, so be careful.
Dispatch, my informants keep telling me about a new figure called the Kingpin, who's moving in to fill the power vacuum. No one seems to know his real name. Could you get some information on that for me?
Kingpin? Huh, great. That's all I need. Some new wannabe trying to build an empire.
Escort units, move into position around the convoy. Keep your eyes peeled. We're moving this evidence because too many bad guys want it. Don't expect them to let it go without a fight.
I heard we're moving stuff that belonged to the hood. That occult crap totally creeps me out. Makes me feel better you're helping us. Thanks.
My pleasure. The last thing any of us need is more dangerous stuff on the streets. Not being very subtle, are they?
This area seems kinda sketchy.
Stop there! We'll fill you full of holes!
Be cool, we just want your cargo.
Think about it! Is that stuff worth your life?
Man, I was in the zone! Hey, unconscious bad guy, was I in the zone or what?
Nice going, Spidey. Jump on. I have a feeling there's more where that came from. Spider-Man, do me a favor and look up ahead.
Car's wired to explode. Gotta try to neutralize him. Booyah! Dunked it! Whoa! Better up there than down here. Friendly neighborhood fireworks.
If I was planning an attack, this is where I'd do it. The engine and get out, last chance. Move it, guys, get it unloaded now. Hey, Spidey, can you move that? Good work, Spidey. Come on, we're moving out.
These guys aren't messing around. Give them this, they're persistent. Car bombs. If they go off here, it'll be a disaster. And the judges give Spidey a perfect score! Okay, the judges are just in my head, but still. Sometimes, I even impress myself. starting to wonder why anyone would keep working at Oscorp.
Dispatch car 228, we checked out the Kane Museum. Nothing happening. We talked to the lady who called. She still swears she saw Spider-Man breaking in. But that place is locked up tight. No alarms have been tripped.
Copy that, 228. She probably read one too many of Jameson's editorials.
Kane Museum. That's not far. Might as well check it out. My reputation's bad enough without getting blamed for pilfering Picassos.
Hey, yo, I bet that's worth some bank.
Hands off. Stick to the plan. We're waiting for the spider. You set off an alarm and bring the cops. No amount of money's gonna save you from the Kingpin. You dig?
They're setting a trap for me with idiots like this? Not gonna happen. Better take out the cameras, or the cops will blame this all on me. Let's see what I can do before they figure out I'm here.
Why did it have to be a museum? Museums are lame. I feel like I'm back in school.
They had field trips in reform school? Shut your mouth and do your job. The lady says museum, we go to the museum.
Lots to steal in museums. Great. I think I know who's about to cross my path.
What's that?
I see him!
Let's not fight. Ah, never mind. Let's fight.
No fancy tricks, Tom.
Oh, snap! If you were awake, you'd be impressed. I might just have a future at this.
I see him! What?
This one time I fought somebody who was a real loser, and they were still better than you. This is why they call me amazing. Felicia, why am I not surprised?
Is our relationship getting predictable?
I expected better from you, Felicia.
What am I supposed to do? Work in retail? You don't need hot guys in skin-tight spider costumes selling shit.
You could have hooked up with me. I mean, yeah, I meant work with me. Or take down bad guys instead of being one.
It's my nature to break the rules, Spider. You should try it sometime. You might like getting a little naughty.
But working for the Kingpin, Felicia? Organized crime? You're better than that.
Oh, you have no idea how good I am.
Yo, over here! Fellas, I got him! Somebody there? Bruno? Yo!
Can you at least say some fun bad guy things like, "Curse you, Spider-Man"? I love that one.
Got the spider! I see him! What? Huh? Right here! This ain't right. You weren't supposed to fight the spider alone. You were supposed to help us, lady.
Let that be a lesson to you fellas. Follow a woman just because you like the way she fills out a catsuit? You're disappointed every time.
First, nobody's ever called you disappointing before. You just haven't given me a chance, Spider.
I want to, do the right thing. But your track record isn't great.
Should I have served my time like a good little girl? Get out when I'm old and wrinkly? I don't think so.
You're saying the Kingpin got you out of jail? How much power does this guy have?
That's what it's all about, isn't it? Power. His, yours, and mine.
Hey, Antec! I'm not gonna do this again for your benefit. It's like a bouncy house, am I right? Yeah.
Impressed yet? Feel bad? You're not. All right, you're not good. Now I'm starting to think you're not really trying.
Deliberately moving really slowly? Is this like some sort of mime thing?
I'm starting to think you're mad at me.
And of course the This one time I fought somebody who was a real loser, and they were still better than you.
I know I'm playing hard to get, but I'm worth it. It's your fault it's come to this. You're just dying to get your hands on me, aren't you? You naughty boy.
When you put forth this weak an effort, I kinda feel like you don't respect me.
Have I mentioned I like to watch?
Your heart wasn't in this, Felicia. Tell me what he did to you.
I was transferred to Ravencroft. The Kingpin came to see me.
Just to be clear, we're talking about Wilson Fisk.
Yes. He said he knew I was after power and he could give it to me.
You'd owe him. That's how it always works, isn't it?
The doctors did experiments. They called it DNA crafting or crisscrossing.
Cross-species genetics? You've seen what can happen. Why would you do that to yourself?
Boy, you are thick. I did it for you, so I'd be like you, so we could be together. But then the Kingpin ordered me to kill you, or die myself. I couldn't. I can't.
Felicia, I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything. I'm not interested in your face, just your lips.
I can get you help. Witness protection, a new life safe from the Kingpin. And maybe someday we can get to know each other like normal people.
I don't want to be normal people. Run away with me. We'll go somewhere exotic. With our power, we can live like royalty. Adventure, excitement, romance. And that sounds terrible to you.
No, but I've got responsibilities.
Well, I'm not one of them. Don't worry about me. I've always done fine with a target on my back.
I can't just let you go.
Fisk owns too many cops. If I'm in custody, I'm as good as dead. You can't do that to me any more than I can do it to you. You ever decide you want some fun in your life? Look me up.
Felicia, wait! It all makes sense. Fisk becomes the Kingpin by eliminating all his rivals with his anti-crime task force. And the public thanks him for it. He writes a few big checks and everyone looks the other way. But it's not just the task force. I better make myself presentable.
Wow. Everyone knows Fisk is crooked. But you're saying he's actually setting himself up as the top crime boss in New York?
That's what I've been hearing. I'm working with Whitney Chang on a story, and she needs proof. You're closer to Fisk than anyone I know.
Not really. He keeps his business private. But, as an investor, I do have access to the task force's financial records.
Oh.
Okay. One of the addresses you gave me came up. Large payments to a security consultant. Fisk handles all the personnel decisions. He's the one who hired this Kravinoff guy. But he cooked the books, so technically, Oscorp's paying him. He's trying to throw me under the bus.
Join the club.
You okay?
Yeah, it's just... I trusted someone I shouldn't have. And I probably should have seen it, but... after losing my dad and Uncle Ben... I guess I wanted to believe...
You wanted a father figure. I know what that's like. My dad shut me out of his life to focus on saving his own. And all he ended up leaving me was the disease that killed him.
Huh? Harry, I'm sorry. What is it?
It's genetic. Very rare. Degenerative. My father extended his life by spending a fortune while he looked for a cure. I don't have that kind of time.
There's gotta be some hope.
Gene therapy. That's what all my dad's research was about.
Is that why Norman started the cross-species experiments?
Yeah. He thought he could give himself the resistance some animals have to conditions like this. But the closest he ever got was the work he did on spiders with your father.
But Dad disappeared. And his work went with him. Your task force. Their body armor has medical applications. Can it help at all?
It's not a cure. But it can give mobility to people who can't get around on their own. The task force has helped me improve on it, and protect my research from criminals who'd steal it. But it was a mistake to work with Fisk.
He knows you're sick?
He figured it out. And now he's waiting for me to die so he can take Oscorp for himself. Listen, Pete. Take it from a guy who knows. When the people you trust turn their back on you, it's just proof you have to handle your problems yourself. But sometimes, you still need help.
Harry, I'll do whatever I can for you. Just tell me what—
Spider-Man. No one knows for sure how he got his powers. But he looks to me Like the only successful, healthy example of cross-species genetics out there. You take pictures of him. You must have some way of reaching him.
Well...
Peter, I need Spider-Man's blood.
It's my lucky day. Not sure what I was aiming at there. Just when you think I can't get any better. Every second counts.
Help! I can't get out! Please! I'm trapped in here! Thank you! I couldn't have lasted much longer!
Poor Harry. I want to help him, but without the proper testing, my blood could actually make things worse.
Yo! Get me out of this oven! That drops, yo!
Just a few... That's some serious heat. Gotta find the people quick.
The roof could collapse any minute! I've never seen anything so heroic! The grateful survive.
If my blood could cure Harry, I'd give it to him in a heartbeat. But it'll take time and lots of research to find out. That's some serious heat. No mood to wait. Find the people quick. This'll shake you up. Okay,
We got people trapped by the flames!
Very nicely done.
I got no way out of this!
Don't worry, I'll get you out.
Much obliged, Spider-Man.
On my way.
Dude, help! We're about to blaze up over here!
Very nicely done.
I'm coming. If I give Harry my blood without testing it first, it could kill him. Or turn him into a...
This place is going
Those
up in
people
smoke.
won't be able to
Get
breathe
me
for
outta
long.
here, man.
Get down and...
Much obliged, Spider-Man.
Firefighters say that...
I'm always awesome. Sometimes I'm extra awesome. this costume made my butt look big, somebody would tell me, right? Now that's fun! I've put this off long enough. Gotta catch up to Harry and talk to him.
You came. Thank you. I'll pay whatever you want.
Mr. Osborn, wait. I've checked with scientists familiar with gene therapy, and I can't give you my blood. It's too dangerous.
Dangerous? I'll die without it.
Not right away. There's still time for more research. Every other cross-species subject has turned into a monster. I don't know why it's different from me. I'm looking into it,
I've paid the top minds in the field to look into it. A fortune. They don't have the answers. I'm willing to take the chance.
It's not just about you. The lizard, the other cross-species, they hurt people.
Get out.
Kill people.
Just get out.
I can't give you my blood until I know
right.
it's safe.
I can't trust
promise.
anyone.
I'll find out.
I'm on my own.
Mr. Osborn,
No, just go.
Harry really at the end of his rope. I should have noticed a long time ago, but I was busy being played for a fool by Craven. I can't believe I fell for his act. But why would he teach me his hunting techniques if he was going to betray me? I guess that's one of the things I'll have to ask him. Craven! Time for a little mentor-mentee chat. Discuss our mutual goals. Map out a 5-year plan. Explain why you're working for a human jello mold. Looks empty. But maybe I can still find some answers. Typical. The coward's not here. But I learned tracking from the best. Him. It's all for me. He was gonna kill me and stuff me like a trophy. All this time he's been studying me, testing me, figuring out my strengths, and how to beat them.
And how best to set a trap.
You're a fake! A coward! This is your idea of a fair hunt?
Oh no. It's only the prelude. The antidote I gave you should remove all effects of the tranquilizer. I want you at the peak of your abilities.
Stop acting like you're King Arthur. All that talk about honor. You lied to me. Betrayed me for the Kingpin and his money.
That was incidental. I did not betray you. I truly taught you all I knew. Not just so you eliminate the Kingpin's rivals, but to make you the worthiest possible opponent. The foe I knew you would be. My greatest hunt. Now you are ready. And now we will see who is the hunter and who is the prey.
So you used me to take out the Kingpin's rivals. What about Cassidy? I noticed you jumped in to stop him talking to me.
Cassidy was useful for a time. He sowed fear and mistrust. But he is little more than a beast. It was inevitable he would have to be removed.
Hard to spot him in those trees, but I have to try.
You've been a poor sport.
You wanted me to watch Cassidy kill that kid. Why? So I'd kill him? So I'd feel guilty? Just because you're a sick freak?
It was a test to see how strong you could be. If you could stomach this feeling of blood. I admit, you disappointed me. You learn, you fight ghosts. Come get me, boy.
I'm still waiting for an explanation for your mustache.
Impossible. I studied you. You are not capable of this kind of fury. You lack a killer instinct.
Can you at least say some fun bad guy things like, "Curse you, Spider-Man"? I love that.
You
one.
grasp at shadows.
True. I get as angry as you do. I want to hurt my enemies just as much. The difference is, I know it's wrong. Don't feel...
Always one step behind.
Ambush me from the trees.
There is no escape. Taste your blue flail around like a drunken sailor. To the death!
No! That's your way. On my watch, no one dies.
I beg you, kill me. Give me death over defeat.
You're saying death isn't defeat? You planning on coming back as a craven zombie or something? Anyway, I won. That means I call the shots.
What are your terms?
You're a few episodes short of a season, Craven, but you've always had your own loony code of honor. So you're gonna tell me how to get to the Kingpin. The truth. Everything you know.
Very well. You have won that right. Ask, and I shall answer.
I ran into someone who says Kingpin gets test subjects at Ravencroft. How?
The institution has lost all government funding. It now relies upon private donors, of which Fisk is the largest, now that Norman Osborn is dead.
And they just let him experiment on inmates like some kind of Dr. Chubbenstein?
They encourage it. They view the inmates as hopelessly damaged, useful only as test subjects.
I know you. You're always checking out your surroundings. You notice everything.
Yes, it's true. I met with Fisk in his building, where I took note of the locations of his cameras, weapons, and accessible points of entry. He has a Telec 4566 security system, and I know the passwords.
Well, you get a gold star. Draw me a map, and don't leave anything out.
The information I have given you will get you inside the building, but you must still face Fisk himself.
I'll distract him with cupcakes.
This is why you will lose. You underestimate him. He has fought for his life since he was a boy. If you show even a moment's weakness, he will see it and kill you.
The old killer instinct, huh? A lot of good it did you. I'm not sure if the cops can pin anything on you, but if not, take my advice and go back to Russia. Fisk doesn't seem as forgiving as I am.
on in the city, they're sending task force guys out of town?
I heard it's about that stolen Oscorp tech. Some kind of armor they're trying to get back.
So? We need backup now. But they don't care if working stiffs like us get killed.
Only Fisk has that kind of influence. I should hitch a ride on one of the trucks. See what he's up to. Wonder what Jonah Jameson complained about before I came along. Traffic? What makes someone decide to be a henchman? No self-esteem? Ha! Just when you think I can't get any better!
I'm not used to driving that kind of truck. Why can't Tony come?
Because we're going to see the boss. And only his top guys get to know where he goes when he's not here. So shut up and do your job.
I had a feeling listening in on those guys might pay off. Now to stick to their truck and let them take me right to the fat man himself.
Tell him we've got the delivery. I'll watch the truck. You got it, boss.
Only one thing will work on this door. Ionic weapon.
I have eyes on Spider-Man!
It's ionic weapon. Not ironic.
Let's see how you do hand-to-hand.
Did your mom tell you could be anything you want? Because she was wrong. All the armor in the world can't fix stupid.
Spread out. Secure the area.
You got it.
I want a perimeter set up. All points of entry watched.
I'm on it.
I catch anyone slacking off, they'll end up padding my arrest stats.
Understood, sir.
Maintain radio contact. Check in every 5 minutes.
I'll spread the word.
The boss wants everyone working double shifts.
I'll tell the boys.
Task Force cops working with crooks. No. Who could have possibly predicted that? Except everybody. Just what I wanted.
Task Force?
Shh! People work around here. Who can resist that? Hey, pay attention! I'm not gonna do this again for your benefit.
What's that? Fellas, I got him!
Hey, Ball, that you?
And of course the Daily Bugle never gets pictures of me winning like this. They say bad guys don't think of themselves as bad guys, but you must know. Armor might look cool, but it doesn't make them any faster.
Flashback. Not police officer. You've been busy, Spider-Man. You add more crimes to the list.
Just a little closer. Man, I was in the zone. Hey, unconscious bad guy, was I in the zone or what?
I don't care what beef you have with a guy in your old crew. There's no more Russians, or Italians, or Yakuza. We all work for the Kingpin now, got it?
He messes with us. He just gives us an excuse to bust him for assaulting an officer.
Spider-Man. You think those lackeys were meant to do anything for
Spider Slam! I'm still experimenting. Catch.
Do you know how much you can? Me! But the bill is coming due, Spider-Man!
Target acquired. Open fire.
Hey, pay attention! I'm not gonna do this again for your benefit.
Oh, you're all happy, no cattle.
Oh, snap! If you were awake, you'd be impressed.
Skinny, ain't you?
Looks to me like the elite task force wasn't all that elite.
I'm sure you're quite pleased with yourself. But the night is young.
Got the spider!
Can't leave now. People are in trouble. I learned a valuable lesson today. Kicking bad guys in the face is fun.
Target acquired. Open fire.
That armor's too big and ionic webbing. The armor's only as good as the guy inside. And those guys?
Please, Spider-Man, beat up some more police officers. They'll make wonderful news footage. I suppose when you live such a sad little life, you can't help but cling to small victories.
Skinny, ain't you?
Get ready to die, Spider-Man.
You're all bricks.
I'll come right out with some cold water.
Want anything? Mano a mano. I like hurting people. Let me show you.
Can you at least say some fun bad guy things like, "Curse you, Spider-Man"? Whatever those guys get paid, it's too much.
It's like I've done more for this city than you could ever dream of.
Spidey doesn't play favorites. Neither does the seismic blast. Some days you just got it. I'll take that. Got it.
Something there?
Don't feel bad. You're not. All right,
Yeah, kitty, kitty, kitty.
I better check that out.
Hey, Ball, that you?
Bruno! Yo, over here!
Got the spider! I see you!
Skinny, ain't you?
Dispatch any friendlies in the area?
Spider! Form on me! Target acquired! What? Target acquired! The spider! Something there?
Are you deliberately moving really slowly? Is this like some sort of mime thing? Please, no. Oh, okay, just a little. Fool me once. This is why they call me amazing.
I found the spider!
Robots any day. At least robots don't talk your ear off.
I may have taken a direct hand in it. Or it matters.
When you put forth this week in effort, I kinda feel like you don't respect me. Sometimes I even impress myself. Oh yeah. No more games, Buffalo Bunny. Just you and me. What, no elevator music? This guy's cheaper than Jameson. Smells like sweaty fat guys and burritos in here. No offense to burritos. Well, if it isn't the Kingpin! Catchy name, but I have to say, you look more like a bowling ball than a pin. Or maybe a beach ball?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I mean, I'm impressed. You take control of crime in New York right under everybody's nose. The whole city knows you're crooked, and everyone still kisses your tuchus. Which must take what, like a week? A lot of ground to cover is what I'm saying.
The only criminal I see is the masked man guilty of breaking and entering into my private building. A violent vigilante. The Daily Bugle has branded a menace.
Fine, play it like that. But one way or another, you're going down.
And now you've threatened me. I dare say Jonah Jameson will praise me as a hero after I kill you. In self-defense, of course.
You set Cletus Cassidy loose on the city. Not just to wipe out your rivals, but to scare people. To make things so bad, when you took over, it'd look like you fixed it.
Who else is gonna fix me? You? Running around in a costume, acting out some adolescent power fantasy. I live in the real world, Spider-Man.
You're so fat, when you wear a yellow raincoat, people yell, "Taxi!" Spidey dance party! Well, more of a seismic blast, really. You're so fat I could have you arrested for 10 pounds.
Come down here immediately! Do you expect me to fight it myself? People don't expect a crime-free utopia. They want a world that makes sense, where if you stay out of bad neighborhoods, you don't get hurt. They want order.
You're wrong. People want justice. They want to know that if they work hard and play by the rules, the same rules everyone else has to follow, they'll be okay.
What an amusing world you live in, boy.
You're so fat, when you go camping, the bears hide their food. cut yourself shaving, marshmallow fluff comes out. You're so fat, you're the same height lying down.
What do I pay you for? Get down here! What people want is men like me to make the hard choices. To make the wheels of the world turn so they can work their pathetic jobs and live their small lives and get a cookie at the end of the day. Knowing that someone strong is in charge.
Bullying fat kid, and now you want to get even. You want to start a software company? Be my guest. But when you start hurting people, when you turn into the bully yourself, I'm gonna shut you down.
You know nothing about me. Nothing about my life. You have no idea what I've done to survive.
So talk to me. Let's hear it. You hired Craven, Cletus Cassidy. You're so proud of it. Tell me what you did. You're so fat your high school yearbook photo was taken from a helicopter. No? Ooh, tough room. Spidey doesn't play favorites. Neither does the seismic blast. You are so fat. When you cut yourself shaving, marshmallow fluff comes out. You're so fat, when you wear a yellow raincoat, people yell, Jesse!
I'm not a fool, Spider-Man. I've admitted no wrongdoing, broken no laws. There's no evidence against me.
I have proof you paid Craven.
No, my task force did. As a security consultant. I am shocked and horrified to hear he's done anything improper. If indeed he has. He was hired for his legendary skills and a strong code of conduct that would never allow him to betray a client.
Craven might not give you up, but Cassidy will.
A lunatic like that? Oh, come now. His word can hardly be believed. And besides, a man would have to be a fool to deal with someone of his ilk directly. I assure you, I am no fool. I'm afraid, Spider-Man, that you are the only criminal here.
Yeah? We'll see about that.
This is not an action film, boy. Just because you're young does not mean you can hack my security and gain access to my personal... How are you doing that?
Huh. Now who's underestimated who?
Stop that! I demand you stop!
All units, Max Dillon has escaped custody and is at large in Sector 4.
What did you do?
I have no idea what you mean. Thank you for showing me my areas of vulnerability. I assure you, they will be gone when you return.